Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Inside Star Citizen Review. This is a show where we get people together here. This is my family. They're here. They're ready to talk to you. They're ready to express their opinions about Star Citizen, how they feel lately. There has been tensions mounting in the Star Citizen community about AI, especially flight. People are starting to say, hey, man, I just want to kind of have like a better overall flight experience. And not even talking about hover mode, but just better flight interactions, the interactions between the character and the ship, better interactions between flying against AI and NPC. I myself have flown quite a bit, and I've gone up against different types of NPCs. I noticed that it's still kind of janky. I would like to see some very basic fixes. So there is some kind of tension here. Heading into CitizenCon, I can start to feel this tension. I don't know if you guys noticed this. What's up, Cash? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, bro. Matt says, don't punish your kids by grounding them from Netflix. Keep them from Netflix for your parental yeah, right. So we were just talking earlier before the show about how my son's upset because I have to tell him not to watch Netflix because we need that bandwidth for the stream, because stream is life. It's important that we keep the stream alive. Now we're going to watch an episode of Inside Star Citizen, and we're just going to I don't know what this is about. I have not quite Boba. I'm not quite sure what this is about, but I might be a little reserved this episode. I'm not quite sure. I'm feeling like I just have to lay back. Thank you, Jiro, being a superstar for the stream, for the video. Jiro stepping in, citizen style, aka Jiro the Citizen, slapping it down, spanking it around. Sounds completely wrong, and we love it. Thank you, Jiro, for that subscription, bro. Now, let's get ready to see what Sig has planned for us in this episode, a la Jared, aka Disco Lando. What do you have to say?
There are many ways to make a virtual universe seem like a living, breathing place. From exotic locales to recognizable places, from props that add personality to a room, from weathered spaceships that imply a life and history before your arrival, and with characters you can identify with and instinctively understand their role and place within the galaxy at hand. To get things started for us this week, we asked Jeremiah.
How long do you think it takes Jared to write the dialogue? As a content creator, I can tell you sometimes it just flows, but what do you think when Jared goes through and says, okay, this for this week's episode, I have to write some dialogue for my introduction? I almost want to see Jared start like a monologue of sorts, kind of how like Kimmel does or Stephen Colbert. I almost want to start seeing like a little bit of a monologue at the beginning of the show. I want some jokes. I just wonder how long it takes Jared to write this material. I bet a little bit longer than he's happy with. I bet he's like, God damn it, I gotta write something witty and funny. But Jared seems like he's got a good sense of humor. I don't think it's too hard for Jared, because I feel like Jared's actually a pretty funny dude. We talked with Toby, and Toby actually said that. Toby went to Cloud Imperium Games and wore our hashtag professional shirt, took some pictures. We put that on Patreon, and he actually said that Jared was a really cool dude. So good on you, Jared, for being a cool dude.
To take us through some of the recently approved NPC
He's always been a writer.
That are
Makes
about
sense.
to begin their journey through production.
He's very well spoken. I'm glad he's writing his own material.
The character concept team finished an exciting batch of, belly roll, drum roll, vendors and shopkeepers for Star.
Doesn't he remind you of, doesn't Jeremiah remind you of Kung Fu Panda a little bit? Jeremiah kind of reminds me of Kung Fu Panda a little bit. I kind of want to attach like Jack Black's voice to him, you know, because it's the voice that changes everything. But like the visual kind of makes me feel like he's like a Kung Fu Panda of sorts. Maybe, I don't know.
Star Citizen. If you've noticed very recently, and actually for the past couple of years, our shop vendors and also our shopkeepers are wearing generic clothing, just t-shirt and pants. And we thought to bring some more life into the universe, and so we have our bartenders. So it's not just a tux anymore. I've actually gotten some requests from some people who want a specific bartender outfit, so we took that into consideration, make it more, how do you say, not just a suit and tie.
Who wants their own personal bartender on their ship? I think we need to raise money up for an 890, the pimp ship as it were, and we need to get ourselves some NPC bartenders and waitresses up in that ship, in that party boat, and let's be able to dress them however we want. Let's get a little crazy with the NPCs. Let's do things we wouldn't normally do. That's kind of the gameplay I'm looking for, everybody.
But a little bit more flair to it. For the servers, we put the aprons on there as well. We also did some restaurant stuff, so chefs and waiters and hostesses. That was actually a big challenge because we were thinking of how can we make chefs look sci-fi when the current day chefs look they're very simple. And so we had to go through a lot of design passes, and we thought this looked really cool where it maintains the look of a chef but still looks sci-fi and cool. Let's talk about the talk of the town, which is bounty hunters. People are asking, like, where are the bounty hunters? And so you get to kind of get a sneak peek of what the bounty hunters look like. The hardest part for the bounty hunters was so that we don't get into shipjacker territory, which is actually kit bashy stuff. And so how can we make it customized but not Mad Maxy? And so this is kind of what we came up with. So we also worked on the clothing. Some cold weather clothing for MicroTech, which is actually, I think, our first batch of clothing from Code Blue Apparel. And they are going to be not your just jacket and pants, but thick clothing. So you can actually, when you're trudging through the snow, you'll be protected. And also you look pretty.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig the kind of like winter style of MicroTech. I'm super down for MicroTech. I can't wait to see the new MicroTech content. It was nice on the last Inside Star Citizen that we got to see MicroTech. Somebody had commented on the last Inside Star Citizen video, which I thought was an interesting comment. I don't know what you guys think, but he had said, and I should really get the name. I'm sorry for the fact I can't remember your name right now. But he had said that, hey, I'm a little disappointed with the size of the dome. I thought from the artist concepts, the original artist concepts, that the dome was going to be much larger than what I saw on the Inside Star Citizen. I think one thing I am going to hold reservation on is wait until I'm in it. I want to wait until I'm actually in it. Maybe it looked a little bit smaller just from the shots that they were showing, but I want to reserve my actual feeling towards his statement, or towards what he said, you know, in regards to that dome on MicroTech when I get in there. So I'm not going to say anything about it until I actually can play it and see, you know, where I'm at. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because I never really had thought about that till posting the episode. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, you're kind of right, dude. Like, it did look kind of small. It looked a little bit smaller than from the initial artist conceptualization, what they had drawn. But I'm digging the clothes. Yeah.
The biggest thing for the concept team really was, you know, we're 900 years in the future where there's different cultures that are mixed in together. So we thought to actually incorporate more different cultures from different races and different possibly religions and stuff like that, put it all into like a melting pot. And Chris was actually really excited to see those. So,
yeah, that's cool, man. Like keeping that cultural vibe up. That's kind of cool. Like in the future, keeping the cultural vibe up so that not everybody's wearing the same goddamn thing. That's really kind of cool. You know, there's going to be a lot of heat on this one. I can tell people are going to say, oh, it's about fashion and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. The aesthetics are really important to me. Like even down to the details on the clothing that people are wearing. Cause like, I want to feel like it's the future. You know, so like I'm kind of happy that there's a little bit of spice and there's like some differences in what people are wearing, and it's not all the same thing, because every single game that you've ever played, they're all wearing like kind of the same thing. So I just definitely want like a mix of everybody wearing different things. I think they're going to go crazy. I think they're going to go crazy like on the amount of clothing in the game. Really, Sega's done a very good job making landing zones custom unto themselves.
So that was a quick update of what the character concept team has been working on. It's going to be in production very soon.
And Jiro says, I think that they're going to have more than one dome. I do agree with you, Jiro. I'm pretty sure that like any settlement on MicroTech's going to have some type of dome. So I'm not even sure if what we saw was the main dome portion. So that's a really good comment, Jiro. Absolutely, dude. They get a lot more heat if certain cultures were completely absent from the future. In today's world, you're absolutely right, Matt. Man, you're absolutely right. That hit really true, dude. Looks like a Breaking Bad apron. It looks like Walter White's making a new batch of blue stuff, huh, Boba?
And hopefully in your hands. And you know, one day you'll be able to see NPCs, workers, AI, possible players wearing these outfits, and the world that our universe will be that much fleshed.
So Jeff is asking, I'm not up to speed on what MicroTech is. Is this a settlement on a planet? So MicroTech is a planet. It's the last planet in the Stanton system that's going to be introduced relatively soon. and it's a large kind of cold planet that is more towards bioengineering, which is like a science planet. And I love the looks and feel of it. It's like very professional, very Hoth-like, but very sterile. And it's like a doctor, scientist, professor, you know, all the people that are really into science is that's what MicroTech is. It's really, yeah, it's an entire planet, and there will be multiple settlements on this planet. So like, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's up in the pipeline for more MicroTech stuff. Plans can be owned entirely by one faction, and therefore will reflect that some will anyways. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they're going to enable that kind of those types of mechanics. I think the law system, like I said in the economics video that I did earlier today that I released, is like the law system is the precursor to making systems safe for people that don't want to have to deal with PvP. I think that's one aspect of implementing the law system. Also, for those people that want to smuggle like goods like drugs and illegal goods, they're also kind of prepping with the law system in that regards. But the law system also, the very foundation of it is very simplistic, but what they're going to do in the long terms with the law system will be essentially to make systems safer so people do not get griefed, aka griefed, which I always thought was kind of silly. I'm an old school PvP kind of gritty gamer, and space should be dangerous. In my mind, if you don't want to go out and get shot, then find an area that's very safe, and that's why the law system is being implemented, I think, is for people to actually be in systems that are relatively safe from PvP. The way in which the law system is acting right now, it's very, very, very bare bones, but it's cool to see it in the game. It's cool to see it being applied into the game right now. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Out, so I can't wait for it to have it in your hands.
So, can we do a sprint report this week?
I am not involved in any of this.
Let's do a sprint report. The Persistent Universe gameplay team in Europe is continuing their work on Harvestables, which is a fancy name for...
Wait, did we hear about that? Harvestables? So this is kind of cool. I really think they're going to have this gameplay inserted where you're going to be able to harvest plants, where you're going to be able to be a farmer, man. And you're going to be able to harvest these plants, and hopefully they're going to have a use for them in the economy, which would be great, because then you could see actual demand for something that a gamer needs while he plays the game, for medicines, for food, these types of things. We talked about this on our survival video, what we did years ago, but now to see it a year and a half later where they're actually picking things off of plants here, that's actually really, really exciting, Boba.
For, hey, I want to pick that thing up and put it in my bag. What you're seeing here are work-in-progress assets for a small collection of harvestable plants that may one day populate the surface of a planet like Hurston. While these plants and the harvestable system are still very much work in progress, when combined with...
Yeah, it looked like we had a little weed there, looked like some mushrooms there. Look, it's like all your different types of drugs. That's exactly what I'm seeing right now. Like, somebody wants some of that patumbo. Somebody give me some of that patumbo. Somebody wants an ounce of the yamioshi.
The upcoming personal inventory system, they'll set the table, allowing for future additions to the actor status system, incorporating things like hunger, thirst, etc. It's another example of how smaller systems can build to a larger, interconnected feature down the line. In bartender news, the props team have completed a sprint on bartender usables, which aim to give these NPCs a greater variety in the types of drinks they can mix up.
Yes. What's up, Darth? Welcome to the stream, bro. And Jeff says, can we get the devs to get our hands actually touch the UI elements like buttons and the like? Yeah, I mean, like, they need to work much more on the grabby hands tech. They definitely need the work to be put in so that we can see some type of progression, so that like the items themselves aren't like bouncing into each other. They got a lot of work in regards to that kind of what I'm seeing right now with the grabby hands needs a lot more work.
It's a seemingly small thing, but these are the details that collectively build up to a more immersive and believable experience in the Star Citizen universe. Just watch out for that Cathcart Widow 151. In the world of weaponry, here's a look at the new ship-mounted laser cannons from Croning, which promises to be a high-damage, long-range weapon with the bare-bones, no-frills nature that manufacturer is known for. Heavy, reliable, threatening. That's Croning. #sponsored. Finally, in this week's Sprint Report, here's a look at progress on the ever-elusive Banu Defender. This two-person craft from humanity's first interstellar friends has required an extensive effort to create and define the look and feel of Banu culture and technology, because it will not only be the first glimpse at this civilization in the Star Citizen universe, but will set the stage for development of the ever-popular Banu merchantmen in the future. We'll check in with additional looks at the Banu Defender ahead of its intended release in Alpha 3.7 throughout the quarter. With 68...
Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? That looked really, really tight. I like the looks of that. I really did.
rooms, a massive footprint, and apparently a cargo bay big enough to carry a ballista. The 890 Jump is one of the most hotly anticipated ships in recent memory. Now, while it's currently continuing its journey through the ship pipeline, we thought we'd ask Pete if he wouldn't give us a Royale Tour Part 2 of its less flashy, but nevertheless important lower decks. Let's take a look.
We're working.
Okay, now we're getting into the amazingness here. I want to see more of the 890, and I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody is. That's the talk of the town right now, is the 890. People want to see it in the game already. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited here.
Working on the 890. We're holding regular reviews at the moment to try and catch out all the last little things and close this ship out and get it ready for you guys. So I'll give you a little update of some of the stuff that we've been working on lately. So here we have the cargo room situated at the back in the lower decks. Quite a bit of space for the cargo, and we'll just clear that out of the way. So got the little windows there, see it going down. Big open space. We've got the components in here. So at the back we've got the jump drive, and then over at this end we've housed all the other main components. Down here, got the
That's
engine
the party
rooms,
room.
twin
We're gonna
engines
party in the
either
engine
side.
room.
Quickly go up these stairs. I'm going to quickly just go through the rest of this deck, walk you through to the hangar. Most of this deck's reserved for the crew who work and serve the guests on this ship. So here we've got the galley.
Oh my goodness, it's got its own kitchen. Devin just came down here. He's sitting next to me, and he's saying to him, he's like, "That's a ship." Like, is that a ship? I'm like, dude, that's a ship. Yeah, I wish that they wouldn't show like damage states. I think they're obviously working with some glitches right here, Jeff, that they're showing things in damage state. But I'm gonna ignore the ship's in damage state right now.
Excuse the fire going on. We're in the middle of doing a VFX pass. So as we go through here, the crew, as well as having the seating area, they've got their own little recreation room. So they got a pool table, the arcade machine, and drinks fridge. And then outside of there, because on the other side of this door, we've got the hangar, and it could be that we've got the hangar doors open and it's vented. So we've got a suit per member of crew, so they can suit up before they go through. So you suit up, and then of course we need an airlock so we don't vent the ship. We won't have it sort of both doors open at the same time. That needs setting up yet. But we go through. It's a big ship with a big hangar.
A ship with ships inside of it. Yeah.
It's designed in such a way that the whole floor will rise up on these pillars that you see here, and they'll take you up flush with the exterior, which, if you know the shape, it's a big flat wedge.
I'm getting myself some douche chills.
Landing
I'm getting the douche chills.
A lot easier, rather than trying to bring it in this place. Other things in here to note, we've taken a basketball court and put that in there.
A basketball court in your ship.
Open place.
Yeah.
You'd use it for things, wouldn't you? I mean, it's a little...
Yeah, we gotta save some money up for this, boys.
And then the other things we've got in here, we've got grab plates, so we can squeeze a bit more cargo up front end. So symmetrical on both sides, but essentially between all these pillars, we've got room for a bit more. And then at the far end, we've got access up to the
Zero-G basketball
that is mounted on the top side. And then behind this door, we've got access to the man turret that's mounted on the belly of the ship.
All right, we do have to start a fundraiser for this ship. We need a Plexus Party 890 ship fund. We really need this ship together. The more they show the finished product here of the 890, the more I'm like, man, maybe I should start a fundraiser for an 890 Plexus Party ship.
Okay, so if we move on this deck, it forms a circuit, twin airlock, just like on the other side. And then here is the waiting room, so you can imagine your rich guests. They'll come and sit in here while they're waiting for their 85X or whatever to come and pick them up.
So this would be a really baller ship to like make deals with. So for instance, there's an aspect to gameplay once we're able to take our money from our own wallet and put it in somebody else's wallet, which I'm really looking forward to that, so that we can actually start transferring funds from players to players, is bring them on the 890. Bring like anybody that you have prospective business deals with onto the 890, show them a good time on the 890, wheel them and deal them, and be like, so can we close the deal on the 890 now? Sure, great. Here's a few billion credits. Thank you for the great time I had on the 890.
And then this is like a corridor that the guests would use for getting to their part of the ship. So I'll just quickly walk along here. And then they'd go up in this lift, but then the only way between these crew decks with a cargo.
Devin wants to name the ship, if we get it, the USS or the UEE Space Jam. That would be funny. Like, one thing is that this is a ship that accommodates a lot of people. So you would actually, like, if you were a large organization, I would have this ship dedicated to like my diplomats, like anybody that was involved in talking to other organizations and was responsible for like deals, any type of like deals involving large amounts of cash and talking to other people. The ship is like a flagship to say hello to other people and make friendships.
In the hangar is 2 elevators, one either side. The other one was in the kitchen, if you spotted it. And then in the event if power's down, we always need to make sure there's a way of getting around the ship. So we've got a ladder here. I'll just jump onto this. Just need to sync up that animation with the bars a little better, but that's just an easy edit. And you can take that to connect the guest part of the ship from the lower ship. If I just quickly jump out of game mode, I can show you how the lighting might look in that scenario. So I just select this guy, hide it, put so obviously for ships we do different lighting states. We've got auxiliary and we've got the emergency as well as the normal.
Cash.
Power's down, you might be under attack and the ship might be in a bad state. That might be one scenario where the lifts aren't working and you need to take the ladders to get around. I've only just switched it on here for this one bit to show you. Okay, so that brings us up to the main guest section of the ship, through the atrium, and then behind this door, this is the spare deck. So quickly drop into game so we can just have a walk around here, show you what different elements we've got on this deck. So as you go in to the right, got bench and lockers. Again, props have been doing some cool assets for us to put in the, highlighting the bench here, obviously, so you can sit down on it. We've got 2 saunas and
Oh my God.
2 showers.
This is ridiculous.
Over this side, we've got the jacuzzi.
What? It's a jacuzzi.
So you may have seen shots of this from a while back.
This is great.
Big rocky cave. Some people called it a grotto. It didn't really feel in keeping with the ship, so it's had a rework. Wow. And as it stands now, we've got this central jacuzzi. We've got a water wall at the back.
I gotta say,
and
this
it also
is like,
acts as like
when you were a kid and you wanted to play games, man, like video games,
where
like,
you can go behind
these types of thoughts would wander into your mind, and as a kid, you would
here
think,
you can probably
nah,
see
that's never gonna happen, right?
And plant life. Then we've
this
got a glass
happening,
bottom.
man. This is
And then we've got a
crazy.
fish tank. No
This
fish at
ship
the
is
moment, but if we get a
ridiculously
fish tank, we'll get
huge.
some fish swimming around in there. You can actually go in there, interact with the
Gosh,
seats,
that's
and sit
scrubbing my
down.
butt in there.
Okay, so
Matt,
that's some of the rooms that we've been working on lately.
bring hot
There's
plates.
68 rooms in total that we'd like to leave for you guys to go and explore. But I hope you've
Matt, you
enjoyed
got
what
me
I've
that
shown
one,
you here
bro.
today.
This is
So what did we learn
ridiculously
this week?
awesome.
We learned there's no end to
Wow.
the varied NPC concepts in the persistent universe.
Wow.
That harvestables is another step closer to making avocado toast in
Harvestables
space.
are really cool. That's very
New
exciting.
Defender is looking appropriately alien on the inside.
Good
and the 890
episode.
jump is
Overall,
becoming
pretty
more
decent
than just a ship.
episode.
It's a lifestyle. And to our subscribers, keep an eye out for changes to the Flare, the Ship of the Month promotion, and more that start next week. The details of which can be found in the den on Spectrum.
Darn.
And to those attending or interested in attending CitizenCon this year, we have a short video about this year's community booths to share with you. Now, they're not just for orgs anymore, and they'll get you a free admission to CitizenCon if you missed out on one of the tickets. So check this out.
All right.
It's for you, you're Ultima, right?
I'm Ultima.
All right, energy and elements.
This is great. I love this.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the prices.
Yeah.
You guys gonna get dressed up or you
I've got my outfit, yeah. What do you think?
like it? So look, this is awesome.
How many of you think that this CitizenCon is going to be huge? I know that they're going to have the Carrack at the CitizenCon. I'm like 100% sure they're going to have the Carrack. But I think they're going to have some aspects of exploration in the CitizenCon. I really think this one's going to be a big one. There's something that just tells me, something in my blood's telling me that this CitizenCon is going to make a lot of people come back to Star Citizen. Yeah. I got that feeling. You can feel it. You can feel it in the invitation. You can feel it in when they're talking on the pillar talk. You can feel it right there with Chris. He's smiling. He's happy. He knows something. He knows he's going to surprise people. I literally think there's going to be something very, very big happening at CitizenCon this year.
And finally, to the Star Citizens out there that make all this possible, we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, we did it again. Another Inside Star Citizen review. We do it every Thursday or Friday.
The latest
And I want to thank all my patrons and everybody supporting the channel here. Thank you so much, Jiro, for your subscription, bro. Thanks, Boba, for the host on this stream. And I will see you guys on the next stream or vid. Thanks so much for stopping by.